Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another top 25 countdown leading into the start for The Walking Dead Season 11. This one we're going to be counting down my top 25 favorite Walking Dead television series characters. Alright, and I want to thank once more JDev TV for this video request. If you guys have a video request for something you'd like to see, you can send it to me through the channel, or you can join us Sunday nights for the live streams and let me know at that point what you want to see. So Walking Dead Season 11 coming up soon, getting ready to start, and Jay wanted to hear from us what are some of our favorite characters, and he named 25. So we're going to try to go ahead and do it. We're going to try to count down top 25 of our favorite characters, and be sure to leave a few of your guys in the comments below. What were your top 3 favorite characters from all the Walking Dead series? You can do top 5 if you want, or even top 10, or if you really want to do top 25, go ahead. I'd love to see who you guys got as your absolute favorites. All right, so starting things off with our 25th spot in priority here. My 25th favorite character from the Walking Dead television series is going to be Gabriel. Now, I didn't really like Gabriel too much, in the beginning of The Walking Dead when he was first kind of introduced there in season 5. But definitely in recent years he has grown on me. I love to see what they did with him and Dante. I thought that was just really some amazing stuff, incredible stuff for him. And so looking to see kind of a strong finish for him before the end of the series kind of wraps up here. And he has been there a very, very long time. There aren't that many characters that have been in The Walking Dead that long. Most don't last this long. So I'm going to put him on there as our first one. Next, number 24 is going to be for Eugene, another old school Walking Dead survivor coming in from the Abraham, Eugene, Rosita group. And Eugene is really fun. I like some of the episodes like The Big Scary You and stuff like that. If you guys remember back to All Out War, that was a lot of fun with him and Negan and the way they would kind of play off each other. He's always kind of funny and super useful for the group to have someone like him who's a thinker. If you guys remember kind of some of the stuff he got started with, like trust me, I'm smarter than you and stuff like that. I like the way him and Abraham also played off each other. So I had to put him on the list somewhere. I'll put him at number 24. Number 23 is going to be for Tara. So Tara was in the series for quite a while, man. She came in season 4, and I never expected to see her survive very long. I always thought, if you guys watch my death predictions videos for each year, I always thought she would be killed off like every season. And she just never was until finally, spoiler warning, the end of The Walking Dead season 9 there with the calm before. And man, that was a tough one to see on the Pike, man. That was really quite scary to see that one. So she had a great run, and considering the series is ending off soon anyway, it's like she's almost there to the end. She's there to one of the last story arcs to bring in the Whisperers. She's there at least close to the end. So good stuff with her, the governor, Lily when she got started. She also had a pretty good relationship with Maggie, Glenn, those types. There was the episode with her and Heath, which was cool. So not bad. So I gotta put her on the list somewhere because she's a long-running survivor. So she'll be number 23. Number 22 is going to be Tyreese. So this is one that we haven't talked about for quite a while now, considering he hasn't been in the show since, what was it? I guess was that the fifth season that was his final season. Yeah, so he hasn't been there for a long time, but he was a super cool early series character. I like the fight he had with Rick and Daryl getting involved in some of the other stuff that happened there. Karen and David, and also he was in The Grove with Carol, Lizzie and Mika, so some great stuff for him there. And I know he is one that is kind of a fan favorite, even though, like we said, the series has gone on a long time after him being there. But I know a lot of people really did like Tyreese a lot earlier on, so I'm going to put him on here. Number 21, I'm going to go with Judith. So Surprisingly, in a way, Judith is one of the longest running characters in The Walking Dead also. Because in the first season, I take it she is conceived between Shane and Lori. And then Lori gives birth in the third season, and right up until now, she's still alive. So she's actually one of the longest running survivors in the show, just without us kind of knowing it. She's sort of there. In the beginning. And I remember like when you had Tyreese who saved her, if you guys remember that, and man, like when she was a baby and stuff with the prison. And there's just a lot of stuff, and it's so cool to see what they've done with her in the TV series version, and sort of bring her to the forefront, have her kind of be like almost a secondary Carl. Some good scenes with him before he was kind of finished off in the series, and Rick and all the others, Michonne. So yeah, Judith is awesome, and she might be higher in the list when the series finally wraps up, but that's where I'll put her at for right now. Number 20 is going to be for Ezekiel. So do also love to see Ezekiel. I love how positive he always is and how happy he always is. That's a good thing to see for Walking Dead because, it can be such a dark series. Sometimes it can be such a kind of sad and scary and, all this negative emotionality. I like Ezekiel a lot because he brings a positive emotionality to it that we just don't get that much. So I do like Ezekiel a lot. There was Shiva, the tiger, and the kingdom, and all that other stuff. I love everything they did with Ezekiel. Thought it was, or is a lot of fun to see him in the series. I hope he survives to the end. But, we'll see here how this last extended season goes. But yeah, definitely going to have him on here at number 20. Next, we're going to go with number 19, which is going to be Aaron. So, Ross Marquand, Aaron, another super long running survivor for Walking Dead, considering, you guys know my predictions for the kind of series finale that I think he'll be one of the kind of finale sort of deaths in the show right near the end there. And, he is a favorite character of mine. I love the way he looks just like Rick from the comics, which is really odd how that kind of worked out unintentionally, but it's very cool. And he also does a great job in Invincible as well. He does the voice of a character in Invincible, which is cool. If you haven't seen Invincible, you can definitely check it out. But yeah, Aaron's got to be on there. I'm going to put him at number 19, and he is another great character. Number 18 is going to be Morales. Awesome stuff. So I had to put him on the list here somewhere. I can't really put him higher than that. I can't justify putting him higher than that because he was barely in the show. But it was just so much fun, like all those years where people kept like asking all the time if we thought we would see him come back. And to the point where I was like, no, they're not doing it. And like, you'd see someone's boot or something. I think it was Jadis or somebody. And everybody was like, oh, it's got to be Morales. It's got to be him now. It has to be him now. And finally, to our surprise, they did actually bring him back, but only to kill him like 2 episodes later, right? Or like the episode later. So, I got to put him on here somewhere. I'll put him at 18. Gone but not forgotten. Morales. Number 17 is going to be Dwight. So I love what they've done with Dwight. It's been awesome to see him as well in Fear the Walking Dead. And, I almost want to say maybe Dwight's better in Fear than he was in the original Walking Dead. But Dwight is an interesting character because he's played sort of like, a super hardcore villain who was an opposite for Daryl, sort of as like a lieutenant to Negan. And at the same time, to see him in Fear, he's played the good guy as well, too, which is awesome. So this will just be specifically related to his time in the original Walking Dead series. We won't include Fear characters in this list. We could do a different video for that if you guys want to do favorite characters for Fear. But Dwight's got to be there. I'm going to put him at 17. And I like him both as a good guy and as a bad guy. Both are really good. But he was an intense bad guy when he just started, if you guys remember. Like, at the early beginnings of All Out War, Dwight was awesome during that time. As a villain, that is. Number 16 is going to be Hershel. So, rest in peace to Scott Wilson, absolutely. Loved some of the episodes he's in. Loved, like, Beside the Dying Fire. We got to remember that was his farm, right? So, unlimited shotgun ammo upgrade that he had there. And he was really great right up until the end of the series, right up until Too Far Gone. Up until his end in the series, I should say. But even they brought him back for What Comes After, Rick's final episode. And that was super touching because it sounds like after they had filmed that, within about a year, unfortunately, he's no longer with us. So his work will live on, though. Awesome one for Maggie, for Beth, and for all the others too, Glenn and everybody else, and Rick too. Number 15 is going to be Abraham. So Abraham is one of my favorites from the comics. I think he's super badass. Love to see Michael Cudlit's episodes of The Walking Dead. He's been directing lately, if you guys didn't know, for the last few years. He's actually awesome at it. His episodes are freaking awesome. And, can I say he's a better, well, maybe equivalent, because I love him as Abraham, and then also some of his episodes are some of the best in the series, too, that, or at least as of late in the seasons that he's done them for. So, but yeah, he's an awesome one, and just brings me back to like the season 7 premiere, kind of when he gets picked first, and, it's, oh man, that was a crazy time for Walking Dead. Everybody was watching Walking Dead at that time, so he was really awesome. And number 14 is going to be Merle. So another early Walking Dead series survivor. It feels like he means more now since, after Rick leaving, Daryl's kind of pulled to the forefront in a lot of ways. Him being Daryl's brother is pretty awesome. I'd like to see him again before the series ends. We'll have to see if maybe they could do something like that. But he's really awesome. The stuff that they did with him and the governor, I thought was incredible. I really love season 3. Not everybody, when season 3 aired, not everybody liked it. A lot of people were like, for some reason they thought it was too crazy, or they liked season 2 better. A lot of times I remember it didn't end the best. Like the final episode of season 3 wasn't the best ever, but Merle was a lot of fun to see. I thought he was amazing in season 3, and I remember there was a lot of hype for season 3 when it was revealed that he was going to be returning, because keep in mind he pretty much wasn't really in season 2. He was only in as like a hallucination type thing for Daryl. Then number 13, continuing with the season 3 type vibe, is going to be the governor, and season 4 too. David Morrissey's the governor. Absolutely awesome. Amazing character. One of the best villains in the Walking Dead television series. Some people got their top villain as Shane. Some people got top villain as Negan. And some people have top villain as Governor. Governor was super fearsome. Definitely he was too far gone. He was never going to, they've kind of taken Negan and sort of turned him into kind of like a good guy in some ways, right? But the governor, you just knew that could never happen with him. It could never ever work that he could ever be a good guy. He's just an all-out bad guy, antagonist. That's how he is. He's an evil man, and that's just absolutely how he is. I love the stuff in season 3 with him, like the final fight between him and Merle, and Andrea and all the rest. I do wish Andrea would have survived. But that was some great stuff they did there. And then season 4 with the golf club and the other stuff. I have a tank, and I'm like, walk away from here. So he was really great though as a villain. I gotta say, man. So I'll keep him at 13. Getting a little higher now to the top dozen. We'll go to number 12. Number 12 is going to be Maggie. So got to put her on there. She probably would be higher in the list if she didn't, have the stint where she kind of left and then came back. I am glad she came back, though. But if she was there all the way through, yeah, I think I would have her higher up on the list, here somewhere. But, I don't want to say we forgot about her after she left or anything, but it does make a difference, if a Michonne leaves or Maggie or Rick or whatever. It does affect kind of how much I enjoy the character when they're not there for a while. Now, if they're killed off, it's not the same thing because it's like, they're been killed off in the story. But if they kind of leave or whatever to do something else, I do think it has an impact. But she's still one of the best in the series, one of the strongest females in the series. So I'll put her there at number 12. Number 11, continuing with the strong females for Walking Dead, is going to be Michonne. Also one that would probably be higher if she didn't leave. But she is an awesome character. I love what they did with her and Rick. You've got RJ, you've got Judith, I'm just hoping we'll see her return by the end of the series here, and it kind of would feel like Walking Dead wouldn't be complete if we didn't at least see her back again in some way. If she wasn't reunited with her children, it feels like they kind of have to do that. They don't have much of a choice. So I'll put her at number 11. Now we're into the top 10. Number 10 is going to be Rosita. So Rosita been in the series just like Eugene since season 4 with Abraham, Eugene, and her. I kind of feel like she's kind of got her own sort of subgroup in The Walking Dead, if you know what I mean. She's kind of like, she's not really part of the Daryl, Carol section. She's not really part of the Grimes section, Rick, Judith, Michonne. So she's separate. So I almost feel like out of Eugene, her, Gabriel, that whole section there, Sadiq was part of that too. I feel like she's almost kind of the lead for that section in some ways. At least, that's the way I think of it. So I'll definitely put her on there. She'll be number 10. Number 9 is going to be number 9. Number 9 is going to be for Andrea. So I almost forgot about Andrea when I was making this list, and then I had to go back and think about it, and I was like, oh, damn. I got to put her on there, and she's got to be pretty high because it was a travesty to see her be killed off at the end of season 3. She definitely should have survived on longer. An amazing character, one of the best for Walking Dead, I think. And, I did love what they did with her, with Governor and the others, but I just wish she would have survived at the end and somehow would have been able to beat Milton there. And, what happened wouldn't have happened. I think The Walking Dead would have been even better if she had survived that point. It wasn't really necessary to do it. It didn't really do that much for the story. It wasn't what anybody wanted to see, and so it was quite unfortunate. But she, in the comic book series version, Andrea and Rick get together, not Rick and Michonne. So if she could have been there longer, it could have been really cool. And she is definitely one of my favorite females in The Walking Dead. And so I got to put her on there pretty high. I'm going to put her at number 9. And because also season 3 is one of my favorite seasons, even to this day. It's really a lot of fun, and it's very exciting all the way through. Number 8 is going to be Glenn. So absolutely, I got to put Glenn high on this list. I'm almost surprised I didn't put him higher, but there are a lot of characters in Walking Dead. Stephen Yeun as Glenn. He's also awesome as Invincible. He's playing Invincible, if you guys didn't know that. You can definitely, watch that if you want to see. But with him, I almost feel like if he wasn't killed off in the season 7 premiere, the series probably also would have done a little bit better. So I think I can probably say that maybe the one thing with The Walking Dead is, yes, there's a lot of big character deaths and everything, but maybe they got a little too trigger happy at certain points, because after Glenn was killed off, I know a lot of people stopped watching because they like Glenn a lot. He was one of their favorite characters. And like Ezekiel, he's one of the more positive, kind of heartfelt type of characters for everybody. You can't have Rick in every scene or some of the others like Daryl in every scene. Glenn was good to have sort of in the same way as kind of like what they're doing with Rosita now. But he was good to have as a runner and sort of a leader of his own sort of sub-faction, in the overall series. So he had him, Maggie, Nicholas, for example, and some of the others around that time. He was really cool to have as like a runner type of character for certain episodes. A lot of his episodes where he was at the forefront like that, and they were traveling around or doing things like that. Those were some of the best episodes. So I really liked, or some of my favorite episodes anyway. I really liked what they did with Glenn, and I do wish he would have survived on longer. Number 7 is going to be Carl. Carl. What can you say about this one? Again, about characters being killed off and wishing they were still around. Again, it was the same thing with Carl as it was with Glenn. Nobody wanted to see it. A lot of the young guys related to Carl. They felt like they sort of lived through him in the series. But he did have some great stuff with Rick in season 8. Some of the scenes, some of the flashbacks, stuff like that. And they did know that Andrew Lincoln was going to leave very soon. So I guess they wanted to do that at that point. They felt like it was a huge one, so they did. But definitely got to miss seeing Carl. He was really awesome. And, certainly a long series running survivor, that's for sure. Number 6 is going to be for Shane. So Shane is also one of my all-time favorite characters in The Walking Dead. Now, he's an early, just a couple of seasons, but he's come back a few times. Came back in season 3 in sort of a hallucination for Rick, which was okay. But definitely the one where he comes back for Rick's last episode, What Comes After. Now, that one is awesome. Like where they're just chilling out in the in the police cruiser and stuff, and all the different little scenes he had there to come back. I'm so glad John Bernthal was able to do that for us fans and for The Walking Dead, because that was really some awesome stuff. And I think we all were super appreciative that he was able to come back and do that for us before the series had ended and before Rick had left. Now into our top 5. So number 5 on the list, we're going to go with Carol. So got to put Carol up there pretty far for Walking Dead. I guess that makes her my top female on the list. In that, I think a lot of us kind of view her sort of, at least us younger guys, as like our zombie apocalypse mom, kind of in some ways, right? She's like, if you go back to like season 5, season 6, when they go to Alexandria, and she kind of refers to herself as like the mother of the group or something like this. It's something like that, like a protective, motherly type of character, right? And she's got the relationship with Daryl. She's kind of the biggest supporter there for Daryl, and so the two of them have definitely pulled to the forefront in the last couple of years, especially. But I'd have to say, like, your top characters now for Walking Dead right now, going into season 11, you got to have Carol up there. You got to have Daryl and some of the others, but definitely she's got to be up there. Super badass in some of her episodes, like No Sanctuary and all that stuff around that time. And since then, the rivalry she had with Alpha, with Negan involved and all that, was super awesome. So, Henry and all the others, Ezekiel and everything. So she's a super important one for Walking Dead overall. One of the most important in the whole series, and I'll put her at number 5. Number 4 is going to be for Morgan. Now, he has been in Fear for quite a while now, last few years, and he's sort of almost become the overarching lead for Fear the Walking Dead. And he's fantastic. I'm always happy to see Lenny James. He's amazing, and he's awesome in Fear as well too. But specifically with Walking Dead, some of his episodes like Clear, when he finally came back in season 5. I mean, these were some awesome episodes to see him finally return. Everything they did with him, Here's Not Here, all these different episodes, and then even season 8, definitely. A standout character, a star type character, and with how many characters they had in season 8 and season 7 and season 6, it almost feels like if you see him in Fear, you kind of understand, like, he's such a standout that you kind of have to put him at the forefront, almost all the time too, like a Rick or Daryl or some of the others, or Carol. He kind of has to be up there. And so I'm glad they did what they did with bringing him to Fear instead of killing him off or something. It's much better this way. And he's one of my overall favorite Walking Dead characters. Got to remember, he's in the pilot episode too, very, very beginning. So him and Rick, awesome stuff. Morgan's got to be there. I'm putting him at number 4. Number 3 is going to be the man, Rick. So he used to be higher. I've moved him down a couple now because that damn Walking Dead movie is taking forever, and I'm getting restless, dudes. I'm getting impatient. So I want to see the Rick movie. I want to see what's going on with Rick, but my fear is that because the series is going to be ending soon, I almost am saying to myself, like, I wonder if anyone's going to care. And if he's filming another new movie, and they didn't announce anything at Comic-Con for the movies, really, I am excited to see the Walking Dead television series wrap up. But it's so weird to see like how this is fit in, considering the television series is going to end, and then sometime after we're going to see the Rick movie. Like it's a weird, I never would have imagined that in my mind, that the Rick movie wouldn't be out and the Walking Dead television series would be over before that happened. Like that was never something that AMC alluded to or that sounded like that could happen. But I'm going to move him down from the top slot because he hasn't been there now for a while. And we gotta see something for that Rick movie, man, because otherwise, if we don't in the next couple years, you'd almost wonder, like, I wonder if it might even get dropped or something. You definitely want to see it. So I hope we still will see it. And I don't know how I'm going to feel about Rick by the time the series ends. I hope that maybe he can either return for the final episode or something, or we can see him in the movie, or just, I don't know. But it does kind of feel a little bit messy for him. After having left, considering all this other stuff has happened in the meantime, a lot of episodes and everything, and years, and we just really have no idea, what's going on with him, where he's at, if it's, CRM or whatever. We got to see something for Rick, man. We just got to. So I'll move him to number 3 at this point. Number 2, the runner-up, is going to be Negan. Yeah, I am putting Negan above Rick now because I thought about it, and I thought, well, think about it, Trev, for a second here, that Negan is one that when he came in at the pinnacle of Walking Dead. The most exciting time. Like, he had the best character appearance of anybody in Walking Dead ever. And as cool as, like, Beta and Alpha were to see and Commonwealth is going to be to see, none of them matched the hype that Negan had when Negan came into the series. When JDM first came in and he had the lineup and all that stuff, I mean, that was incredible. So he is the highest villain on the list for me, but also, you know, him kind of turning into a good guy, us getting to see Here's Negan now, which I thought turned out amazing. Just all around, what they've done with Negan throughout the series, incredible. I do hope he survives to the very end. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he was killed off before the series, you know, actually fully ended, because you don't know if he's going to pass into the spinoffs or not, if they're going to do anything with him after, if he would fit in with the group, or if he could have his own spinoff, you know, whatever they happen to do here. But he's got to be up there. I'm going to put him at number 2. Absolutely got to have it, and just narrowly inching out Rick at this point for our runner-up, Negan. And that brings us to our number 1, our overall top slot. So the greatest character in The Walking Dead is, drumroll please, Beth. No, okay. no, okay. All right, no, that's not happening. She's not on the list. We're going to go with Daryl. Yeah, we're going to go with Daryl. So it's weird to rate these top few spots for me for my favorite characters for Walking Dead. It's super weird because I always wanted Rick to be the number 1. Like, I never would want to see this happen to where Rick would slip down on the list and you would have Daryl kind of surpass him as the overarching kind of lead character, which I feel like it kind of feels like he's still not. But you got to remember, if the Walking Dead series is ending, and you know, in the next year or two here with season 11 extended, and Daryl's going to be at the forefront for the end, you know, that's what people are going to remember. People are going to remember the end of the thing, right? So it would change after, if the movie actually gets made and we get to see Rick again, it would change. But I've got to put Daryl as number 1 because he's been there in the series all the way through. He was, you know, it was unexpected to see him survive on this long, and super unexpected to see him sort of take over the overarching lead position. With him and Carol and the others, I would have to say that right now, Daryl is the standout lead for The Walking Dead. If you're picking one person right now for season 11 who is the forefront character for Walking Dead, man, it's got to be Daryl at this point. Like, don't you guys think so? Also, in early seasons, he was always kind of funny to have around, and he was kind of more of a loudmouth. And he sort of settled in and kind of changed throughout the series as things went through. But yeah, definitely with Rick having left and everything else that's happened since then, and the fact that now it's been announced that it's ending, I just have to move Daryl up, and I'm going to put him in the top position. When the series ends off, you know, those are the scenes we're going to see. And unless Rick comes back or something, you know, this series is going to wrap up with Daryl being the last man standing, like Beth had said. He's going to be there at the very end, and so he's even getting a spin-off with Carol. So, yeah, man, I mean, I just got to put him up there as kind of the, as odd as it sounds at this point, but the forefront lead character for Walking Dead. No longer Rick for me. It's Daryl, just based on what's happened. Now, the movies come out. This will change. But for now, that's what I'm going with. And excited to see things wrap up. Excited to see these final scenes come through with, surprisingly, Daryl being at the forefront and at the top of my list for top 25 favorite characters for Walking Dead. So that is my list. Leave yours below, some of your favorites. Who's your number 1 for the whole series? Remember, guys, all the seasons, all these episodes, hundreds of episodes. And if you want to see one for another series like Fear, for example, we could do that for that one. Maybe not 25, but we could do something. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, guys. Thumb up the video below, subscribe at the bottom, and I'll see you back again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace later, guys. I'll see you soon.